see if I'm live. There we go. Hit the camera up just a bit. Maybe that'll work. When you hop on, say hi and let me know you're here. Okay, I think that's a decent enough camera angle. The wreath we're going to be doing today is going to end up being rather large, and I'm trying to make sure I fit it all into the screen. How is everybody today? All right. So today, I'm not making a grapevine. I'm going to use this 32-inch base, evergreen base. And I'm going to make a really large, oversized piece for a front door. This is a custom order that I need to work on, and her door is not the standard 36-inch. It's actually 42 inches wide. So we're trying to make something a little bigger for her door. So it's with an evergreen base. Always you want to fluff it. I already did most of this one, but basically you just go in and make sure all the branches are separated. Just run your fingers through it. You'll also find loose pieces that way. If you need to take, some pliers and crimp the little ring that holds down the branch down onto the base, or you can just pull it off. But at least you'll find your loose pieces by fluffing your base. And it's not an exact science. I just try to separate them all, kind of like run my fingers through it like I was doing my hair. And if there's a clump, I try to separate them apart a little. I do make sure that the outside ones are pretty extended straight, because that gives us the starting line for the shape of our wreath. Sorry guys, I was running behind and trying to find my 8-year-old some warm enough clothes to go out to the deer stand with Daddy for a little while. And I was just like, ah. All right. Whew. I don't see any comments, so I'm going to keep going though. All right, so I've got everything pretty much fluffed. Now I've got a table full of ingredients here. Have some really nice picks that have several different types of greenery in it. Some different size white berry picks, pine cones, and some like twigs, stems, like dead branches with no leaves. So there's a good bit of juicy goodies in this one pick. So we're going to use this as our base. As with most of the stuff that I use, I got this at my local to the South store called Trees and Trends. Some of you that are in the South might have one locally. They do have a website, but you can't really get on the website the things that you can get in the store, if that makes sense. So, and then I did purchase some of this stuff at Hobby Lobby, I think, maybe some of this came from there. You can get this size at Hobby Lobby, but I did get this one at Trees and Trends. All right. So now that I've taken this one pick, fanned it all out. Now for this one, I really want to fan it out wide. Okay. There's enough pieces on here. You can get good expansive coverage. Let's see. For these big pieces, I am wiring them in. I mean, zip tying them in. So just pick a starting point wherever you want that to be and take this whole pick. Actually, do I want the whole pick? Yeah, we can leave this whole pick on. And between the two rows, when you get in here and separate, you can see like two distinct rows of, see, like right there's a loose one. Just toss it to the side. You can see two distinct rows of branches. And I want to take this big pick and kind of place it in the middle. Okay, then I'm going to zip tie it to the frame. With these bigger pieces, you need to make sure they're pretty secure. The smaller ones I don't mind. You know what, I'm going to pull this down. The smaller ones I don't mind using just glue on. But when I use the whole picks, I most definitely want to use some zip ties too. And make sure you're catching the frame because I'm not. There we go. I'm using really long ones too, so that makes it a little more difficult. Just cinch down. Trim them off. Now, for a little extra security, I take one of the pine branches and I wrap it around this side, and then I take another one and go the opposite way. That just ensures that it's got extra stability in there. See, it's not going anywhere. You can also put a little bit of glue in there as well if you want. Okay, so then you just take the individual pieces of the evergreen base and pull it up through the pick you just put in. Just intermingle it a little bit. Okay. Now, as you see, I kind of put it to an angle. I see some comments finally. Hi, Linda. Hi, Brenda. Good afternoon, ladies. The computer said I was still live, but it's just now showing comments. So thank you. Thank you for joining. Okay, so as you see, I've kind of put it in at an angle. Okay, we're going to go around the whole wreath, putting those in as the base, kind of at that same angle. Okay, and I'm going to push all this to the side a little bit and give myself some room, because we're going to have to lay it down. All right, so I'm going to come to the left of this one and take another one. Okay, we've got to fan it out. I start from the back, pull the back pieces down, kind of push them away from the spine, because sometimes they're real compressed and they stick together when they're this dense type of pick. So I've kind of got them splayed a little bit here. The pine base I got at my local store called Trees and Trends. It's a 32-inch base. We are making an oversized front door wreath. Oversized, really big. All right, so there we go. So now we're going to take and come in a little piece down and add in our next one. I move, a few branches to the side if I have to. Just make sure when you're zip tying that you're catching the frame. Okay, so I take one pine tie and wrap it around one direction. And if it's not sturdy enough, you can take another one and wrap it around the other way. Make sure you're intermingling all the branches so it looks more natural. And this is just our base. We have a lot more goodies to put in. Just want to make sure I'm putting them close enough together. All right. Do another one. This one I think I must have played with already because it's already pretty fluffed. Okay. Honey, I don't know. Is he back from across the street? The little guy's looking for Dad. He went across the street. He may not be back yet, honey. Don't freak out. He didn't leave you. Y'all are still going hunting. All right. Let's see how we're looking so far. Whew. This thing gets heavy. Just the base itself is pretty heavy. And we're adding a ton of goodies to it. So on big picks like this, if they're all stuck together, just go to the back and push them forward to separate them. If the branches keep you from laying it down proper, just move them out of the way. You can pull them back up through. You like it so far? Yay! I have to hold it up and make sure I'm putting these the right amount of width apart. No, I need to scoot that one over just a bit. That's what I thought. It looks kind of funny. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3. That's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 5 more. So that's plenty. Yeah, that's plenty. All right. Gonna have to cut this one out and move it over. That's the thing about working with these big ones in a small space. all good. Another zip tie. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Gonna keep flipping her around and adding these base pieces. Like I said, we're zip tying these in because I'm using the whole pick and we need the stability. Oh wait, I forgot to wrap the branch around. Remember to wrap a pine needle branch from the base. Wrap it around the pick you just zip tied in. It just gives it more stability. There you go. Perfect. Thing. Okay. Linda, I will probably hot glue some of the lighter elements when we get to those, but these being the heaviest pieces, because these are pretty heavy. The greens in it are really thick and heavy. Then you have quite a few pieces in here. So because of that, I am going to zip tie those down. Now that does a couple of things. It gives a good base, but it also gives a layer of extra stuff for the glue to latch onto and kind of like puzzle piece into, so it kind of locks other pieces in. So that's why I like using these really big pieces as a base versus, cutting them apart. Now I do cut them apart. When we start doing some spring wreaths, you're going to see me cut a lot of things apart. But, for wreaths like this, I love using the big ones and just zip tying them in. And because of their weight, your front door, open, close, just the weight of it, over time, the jar can jiggle things loose. So if you've got it zip tied in, the heavier pieces, and then the pine branches wrapped around it, you have less of that movement over time. Yeah, leaving out now?
No, not yet. So,
No? Okay.
you got a minute?
1 second, yeah. All right. Okay. Looks like we might get, ooh, we didn't use as many as I thought we were gonna. All right. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Wow, I'm impressed. Okay. I really thought I was gonna have to use a whole lot more. That is not laying in right. Trying to move them out of the way. Now I'm wondering if I should scoot them closer because I really wanted it to be full. But we're gonna move along. I just have to split these two equally now. little more balanced. Go in. Why is it not going? There we go. More loose pieces. All right, I'm going to put it up and let me see that piece in it before I decide if I'm going to move things around. That's another good thing about zip tying is if you have to move things, you have the ability to do so. I just have a hard time seeing how my materials are laying when it's down flat on the table versus up on the stand. Are you guys the same way? Yeah, I think those are not bad. It's these right here. So I think I'm going to move this one since it's not locked in a little closer, move these up and put one more in. And I think it'll be full enough. And I'll be happy then. All right. And I take extra painstaking time on creating my base because it's the foundation on which everything is built. So if it's not right or you're not happy with it, you're not going to be happy with any part of your design because it's just not going to flow right and lay right. All right. I'm hot. It's like 40 degrees here today. So my husband come out and turned the heat on in the shop for me. And it got so hot out here. So now I've got the fan going to cool it down. All right, much better. All right, wrap the pine branch around what you just put in. Do one going around each direction. Beautiful. Okay. I'm going to move these a little bit further apart and then sandwich one in the middle. And then I think we'll have good balanced coverage. Oh, I need to unwind them first. Hard to see the pine branches. There we go. I have to go from the back. The sucker's heavy, so it's hard to do anything one-handed. All right. And which was the other one? That one. There we go. I'm using 75-pound zip ties. Overkill. All right. Now we start again. There we go. Bring them a little closer. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Did y'all stay in? Did you celebrate via FaceTime or, chat feature somehow? Or did you have family? What did you guys do? There we go. I'm way happier with that. The little piece falls off, just dip it in the hot glue and push it back on. If you can find out where it goes. No, I don't think that's it at all. Let's try that again. Gotta be further down in here. Oh, there it is. Maybe that didn't look right. Perfect. Okay. Hot in here. Okay, so moving on. Sometimes it gets a little repetitious, especially building these big ones because you have to add so many pieces. I'm leaving the cut zip tie end up to the middle as well, so there's no pokey edges out the back. Removing another one. I should have just decided to use all of it and not try to skimp from the beginning, but that's okay. It's not like we can't fix it, right? Wrap your pine branch around. How many more do I have? I have 2 more. And I am going to put them both in. Well, maybe not. Let's put this. Let's do 1 more. And then let's put it up on the stand and look at it. And we'll go from there. See, I'm going from the back and pushing away from the spine. That makes them stand up. You can bend them. Okay, and as you see, I'm putting each one in at an angle, keeping that same angle all the way around. Let me get it up on the stand and I'll show you what I mean. Okay. So far, we got 1 more to go in. I think that's all we're going to need. I don't think we're going to need both of those. Don't. All right, come back out. Didn't I just put that one in there? Like, why is that not coming out? Right. Let's get that one zip tied in and then we can move on. And just fluff, kind of pull together green from the evergreen base that's through there. All right. Let's see what she looks like when she's hung. All right, that's what I'm afraid I do. I need to move this one up and put that last one in because it's fuller over here and less over here. It is. see what we're measuring. We're at 36 inches so far. So if her door is 42, that gives us 3 inches clearance on either side just right now. And it may go a little wider. I don't know. Maybe I can keep it in. The struggle is real. Oh, it is. I mean, I don't mind letting you guys see me take apart and move around because you know what? That's what really happens in the shop. Working in the shop is not perfect. And I don't, I don't mind letting you guys see me struggle at all. At all. Okay, which one is that? So I don't undo the wrong one. What's that? And it needs to come down. That one needs to go up. And then I think we'll be good. So this one needs to move just a smidge. Just going to take them both out while I'm here. Okay. So we'll put this one in a little closer, like so. Now, as you see, I'm putting them in at an angle, not straight out, at an angle. And I've put every one in at that same angle. So when you're looking at it from face front, everything's rotating in the clockwise direction. I can't talk today. I can't hardly see either. My left eye is almost swollen closed. So that's another reason why I'm a little bit struggling today. And I apologize. I'm down an eye today. All right. I think I'm still going to have to move another one, y'all. This is hilarious. Oh, good Lord. Oh, don't you love it? Yeah. All right. Let me figure out. I don't want to keep moving these because I'm getting them ill spaced. Let me see how bad this is up here. I may just move along. Oh, this one's not real tight in there, is it? Oh, that's because we never zip tied that one in. What? Okay, y'all. I'm getting ahead of myself. I must have laid that one in and got sidetracked. If they're heavy enough, you'll know it when you pick up and they start moving. Go in, go in, go in. Okay. She ain't going anywhere now. Nope. There. I think we're going to go with that. I think I'm going to take this one and move it back a little, and then that's going to be evenly enough. I probably shouldn't have moved it. I shouldn't have second guessed myself, but I did. And then we'll call that one done and move on to the next step. Wait a minute, which one am I moving? That one. All right. All right. Layer one done. Okay. Now just go through and finish pulling and intermingling some of those evergreen branches so you don't have big clumps of them everywhere. That to me, I don't like the look. So if you kind of pull them through the pieces that you just put in, it looks more natural. And before I move to the next step, I make sure that all these inner pieces are kind of nice and neat, laying how I want them. Because when I start gluing, you won't be able to move them around as much. Okay. I think that looks pretty good and even. Stand back a piece. Gorgeous. All right. So we only used 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We used 8. Yeah. We're going to place the bigger flowers. We're using red poinsettias. These are tip to tip. They're 12-inch tip to tip. So these are the rather large ones. And we just fluff them a little bit. I'm going to cut these way down because I know I don't need all that. So I'm just going to go around and place them, kind of eyeball where I want them before I go locking it in. Oh no, I think we're just going to do 3. So we want it to form a triangle, pretty even triangle since we're only going to use 3. But I don't want the top of it to be right there. Well, do I? That's not bad. I could move this a little up. Yeah, I like that. I have some smaller ones. I wonder if I should use those. These are rather large. Let's see how I feel about using the larger or the smaller ones. These aren't really any smaller. Never mind. I thought these were way smaller. They're actually a little bigger. Okay. No. So I can just make these not so fluffy. And then we're good. Yeah. Better. I'm just not folding them, fanning them out as far. I'm making them shorter. Gorgeous. Way better when I make them not so long. I'm just bending the leaves so they're shorter. Then I kind of do my hand up under the bottom and squeeze the bottom together. That squeezes the petals closer together. Right here. Okay. I have to stand back a little further, you guys. So I have to turn this for 1 second. I don't like that. How can I fix that? Ooh. All right, I think we're gonna zip tie these in as well. I really wish I had smaller zip ties to use. But I know it's there somewhere. There it is. Push on it just a little. There we go. Hi, Sherry. How are you today? How are you? All right. Everybody recovering from Thanksgiving? This is always the worst part for me. This is the part I hate the worst, is trying to find a good, nice triangular pattern. I think it's that glob is in the way. Yeah, that's better. Where are we hooked into? There. I'll probably, most of the rest of the stuff besides the stars, I will just hot glue in. But these bigger, heavier pieces, they're definitely getting zip tied in because this is going on a front door. And I don't want the pieces to jar and move and fall over time. So we're just locking them down now. bend out just a little bit. Once you get them zip tied in, you can bend the stem however you need to. You know, if it needs to tilt forward or backwards, you've got some playroom there. Okay. This top one locked in. I'm good. I'm good. My family left this morning to go back home. It's just in Tennessee. They're not far. So we're doing class, and then I'll probably just chill for the rest of the afternoon. That's throwing my eye off the way it's laying, so I'm just playing with it. There we go. Maybe I liked it back. There we go. One more. Oh, I already got it out. Now, I might have kept this one a little bit short to zip tie it in. No, I think I can. Go in, come on. All right, moving on. There's a lot of layers to this one, so sweep my floor after I'm done. Okay, so the next layer I want to layer in are these pieces. It's this pick. I've already cut a few pieces down. We're going to use a few to fill in this outer area. So as with any other pick that we're using, we give it the curve of our base, okay? Let's give it a little curve. We're going to find a place on the outside here. We're going to glue it and stick it in like right like that, okay? Just gives another layer, a different texture. Woo. Loose stringies. We're just going to go in here, make sure that there's green. And if you want, you can wrap a piece of green around it just to give it a little extra. Make sure it's grabbing on there. See how pretty that is? Again, we give it a little bit of a curve to the direction the wreath is going. Down a little piece, add a little bit more. There we go, beautiful. Little curve. We're just putting this in the outside right now. We'll put more on the inside as we go. You like this tabletop stand? I do too. I love it. It's one of my most favorite tools. The only thing I don't like is that it's like by a chain, so it moves around and collapses on me sometimes when I'm working. So what I do is I put my brush in between, and it'll keep it from collapsing all the way on me. But it has been one of the best things that I've ever bought, especially for doing grapevines and evergreens like this. Because my tabletop stand, you know, it's almost belly button high, you know, my workshop table. So sometimes it's hard for me to see over the top of a design. But when I've got it hanging up, no problemos. Right, keep giving it the curve of the wreath as we're going around. Now getting ready to go?
Yeah, I remember when I get in the boots.
Oh. Do you leave them in the Jeep?
No, my army boots.
Oh, your army boots.
I can't remember what I did with them.
All right, I'm going to take and spin this as I work. Okay. Then I don't have to contort my body too much. I'll leave off right here. So right here. We will use a good bit of this outside greenery. We're going all the way around with it. And as you've probably gathered, this was not a cheap wreath. This is, like I said, I don't know if some of you caught it. It's just a custom order that I'm working on that I had to get done. And she wanted it very full and full of lots of stuff. So hey, Katie, how are you? All right. Still giving it the curve. Left off here. Just go down a spot and add more. Where's this? Oh, up here. Ah. So, yeah, this way. Sometimes I have to hold it up there to remember which way my curve is going. Putting your outside decor up. That sounds like a lot of fun. Do you put lights just on the front or all the way around? Don't make me laugh, Eddie. My husband's making funny faces over off camera, trying to make me laugh. Hi, Debbie. Hang on, hang on. I got a piece of hot food here. What's up, baby? All right, baby. Stay warm. Have fun. Mwah. Woo. Okay. I think we're almost all the way around with this. Yep. Almost. That's awesome. It just seems like the zip tying and the getting of that initial base laid down is always the most time consuming. The rest goes fairly quickly. You just do the front. It's a lot. I hope you have some help. I'm sure you do. We aren't doing the front this year. We went very minimal this year. We're actually looking for a house right now. We're looking. And I guess I'm just waiting to decorate the new house. We live just in a very small area. There's not a lot to choose from here. So a lot of it's just a waiting game till something comes on the market. And if you like it, I've got the fan blowing across me here, so it's blowing my glue like crazy. All right, probably a couple of pieces of wood more, and I think that'll be all we need of this on the outside, because we're almost all the way around. And I use a good bit of glue. So let's go back in and push these back up. I've bent them forward a little bit. That. All right, so here we got to cover this much more. when you get a bunch of little glue stringies like that, just wait till the end if you can, and take a blow dryer and just blow dry it for about 30 seconds. It melts all those glue strips away. Or if you drop a big, drop a blob of glue on something, don't pick at it. Just let it dry completely, and then you'll be able to pick it off as a whole piece. Fun. We're heading out to go hunting now. They went this morning. Now they're going out for afternoon hunting. Tomorrow's the end of rifle season. So two more pieces, maybe one. We'll be done with this layer. Lots more to go. Okay. Moving on. All right, I have to turn it this way so I can step further away. This needs to rein in just a little. So when you look at it from afar, if you see that your outside shape is not fairly even, then you need to do some adjusting. And because everything's wired, you can just bend them in so they don't stick out so far. All right, so far so good. Here we go. Now, we have stars. So these are lightly frosted. It's like this part is plastic, but it's lightly frosted. The other side. One side's a little more frosted than the other. So we're going to cut these down, way down. Those are gorgeous. Those are gorgeous. Okay. Ow. Did it. One more of the stars. I think that flower needs to move just a little bit. I think. Let's see how that looks. Uh-oh. Looks like the glue came off of the star itself. So I'm going to glue it back on. But I have to do it while it's on the wreath. So I just take a little stick full of glue. Rub it where it needs to be. Let that just sit there for a second before I touch it again. Let it dry. This flower needs to move. Like, move it down. It's a little better. Just another second. Let that set up real good. Beautiful. This still has this here on. Is that what's wrong? Oh my goodness. I walked on closer over here and I'm like, I still feel heat. No wonder. Okay. All right. So I think we've got the stars in about where I want them. They're doing their thing. All right. Now we have red berries. We have white berries. We have red maidenhair. I hadn't decided if I was going to use that or this. I'm thinking I'm using this. The maidenhair fern. Okay. So now I've got some red glittery maidenhair fern that we're going to sprinkle in. Hey, Deb. Welcome. So I'm going to put a fairly big piece in and see how I like it. And we may cut this down. That's not too bad. Put a couple more pieces in and see what we think. See if we want big pieces or little pieces. Maybe we do a little both. Oh, go in. See how I like that. Hang on. Yep. Gonna give it a little bit of a curve. I gotta glue these pieces in. They're not glued in yet. So as with every other piece, give it a little bit of the, bit of the curve of your wreath. So pretty. There's just a little bit of glitter in the poinsettia, a little bit of frosting, light reflecting glitter on the stars. So this just brings in the glitter throughout the piece. Put this little piece like up in here. Yeah. So you gotta glue this one in. Thank you, Lisa. There's still quite a bit more to go in it. So I try to space these big outer pieces about the same distance apart. I forgot to glue these in, so let's get that done. Beautiful. Take one more bigger piece, then we'll cut the rest of it up and make it fill in through the rest of the wreath. Yep, about even. Hot glue. Alrighty. Looking good so far. However, this definitely has to move over just a smidge. So it needs to up just a little. That's way better. Okay, I think that's way better. Hi, Lori. I'm working on a monster today. Oh, looking for my broom and I have it behind my stand. All right, let's see where we need to add in. How many little pieces do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6 that we can add in as we need. So okay, we've got our red berries and we've got our white berries. Oops. So I chose the plain white berries because the picks we used for the base already had white pods on them. So I thought this was perfect to just pull in some more of that. And then we also have these that are very dense that I'm going to pull apart and place the little pieces. Oh, whoops, I threw the wrong piece away. Ha! We're going to start adding to the inside here, okay? pull that back out just a second. Kind of have to move some of the pine branches out of your way sometimes if you have a really full evergreen base that you start with. And I did. So sometimes there's just so many green branches, it gets in my way. Right, so when you glue a piece on the inside, just take a piece of the pine branch and wrap around the glue piece at the base. So it covers the mechanic and it gives a little more stability to that piece holding it in. I mean, I guarantee you, the way we've assembled this wreath, it's not coming apart no matter how many times they slam their door. If it ever falls off, it's not coming apart. Okay, so I placed these 3 inner red pieces in a triangle pattern on the inside. So basically what we're trying to do with the red and the fern and these and the flowers is evenly disperse the red with different textures throughout the wreath. So each one of these red elements is a different texture. So here. Now we're going to take some of these white ones and come in, kind of fill in the center with the white, okay? I know y'all are probably thinking, what's she going to do with the center of that, huh? How many more glue sticks up here? Oh, I got a couple. So take and come up underneath, and at that same angle that we place things in, place this in. Okay. Just like that. As with everything we've put in here, give it that same curve of the wreath, okay? 2 more. I think that'll be more than plenty. And the last one. Give me something. You okay? I'll let you know when I'm done, okay? All right. Need to pull in a little more of the maiden hair fern now that we've got some of that layered in. Sometimes you can't put all of your ingredients in at once. So I did part of the maiden hair fern a while ago. Now we'll come and fill in other places with these. I think there were 6 pieces still. Okay. I'm just looking at the inner ring here. As you can see, we put the bigger pieces on the outside. So now I'm taking these little pieces and filling in the inner ring. 1, 2, we'll go over here for our third. Okay. Yep, 3 more pieces. All right, where do we need these 3 pieces? 1, 2, 3, right there. Okay. So I'm going to place them here, here, and here. That's kind of where we're lacking in the most red, I think. Remember, it's going on this inner circle versus the outer circle, okay? And when we're adding in that triangular pattern. So put one here, we're going to do here, then up there. Okay, last one, right up there. I think it needs to be back here. So I'm going to switch that up a little bit. There we go. All right, moving on. Now we've got red berries. We have more pine cones. And I brought out this really nice black fern. I don't know if I'm going to use it or not. I thought it might be nice. Oh yeah, that lends a nice little texture in there. I like this black fern. I'm just going to go through and add a little bit of this. And the reason I am adding the black is because the customer's request was red and black and white. I'm adding a whole bunch of this, just a little. I don't know how many exactly picks it'll be just yet. But see, it's got a little bit of glitter. Ooh, glue everywhere. Just adding it evenly. Wow, this is gorgeous. How many more of these do I have? I have two. Okay. More pieces. Just going to put little pieces of this last one kind of in the center here. Just adding little pieces to the inside, the very inside of the wreath, like in here. Yeah. Couple more pieces of black on the inside, and then we're almost done, guys. Yay! Let's take a look. Wow, she's large. Okay, now we're gonna add a few more red berries, and I think we'll be done. Gonna go up under and get some red berries in this outer layer. And now I'm layering in the sides, so the side view has an equal pretty view as the front. We can't leave naked sides. Whoops. Let's see. Right in here, I think. I'm gonna have to definitely take a hairdryer to this one. I've got little glue strings everywhere. Where does this one need to go? Not here. Right, I still got two. I'm like, wow, I thought I cut more. All right. Here. Think that red in there needs to be a little more. So we're beefing that middle part up just a little. These right here. Perfect. One up there. One last piece of fern. All right. One more that I've cut. Do we need it? I think so. I think we need to go up back here with some red. Yep, that's what we need to do. And then I think we'll be done. Woo! Then I'll tell you how big she actually is. So we're going to go up under back here. We've got red evenly dispersed, but then we've got this blob. So we need to put some red back here to show the depth of the wreath. We're just going to go up under here, up in the back, put it in like that. I need to redo that one. Didn't put it in the right place. Yep. And then I literally think that's going to be all I'm going to add to this. I've got enough in it. I think we're evenly dispersed in color. Right there. Blue. All right, let's take a look and see if we think she needs anything else or if she is done. Wow, she's really pretty. Gorgeous. What to do with my eyeliner tape? We are at 38 inches. That's large, but gosh, is she pretty. What do y'all think? Hearts, thumbs up, thumbs down. I know it took me a long time. I apologize. I'm working on one eye today. Do you have any questions? If you've got any questions, let me know. On what sizes anything was. I have these pine cones, but I don't think I'm going to add them. I think after this point, it just starts to get crowded and busy. I had two other things here. I had pine cones. Well, those don't look half bad. And then I had some gold like this that I could, ooh, I don't hate that. Does it need more? Oh my God, this stuff is so glittery. I'm going to have to go take a shower. Yeah, I'm not going to use this. Holy moly cow. That stuff's just brush me here. Holy cow. All right, well, I think we're going to stop with that. Even though I really like the pine cones. I think I don't know, I might could take and just put them in randomly. Nah, we'll leave it. She's plenty full. All right, ladies. Well, thank you for being with me today, and I will see you guys at my regular time on Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern next week. So have a good rest of your weekend, ladies. Bye.